Me wants to know how was your day. I just now came. 10 minutes or so. Start. Today morning session, all of you revised thoroughly. Even if you don't understand, I think you should understand. But if you don't understand also, make a note of it. Okay? And then brainstorm. First amongst yourself, argue it out. You have to argue it out. And if it is not clear still, catch the acharyas. And if it is not still clear, catch me. But I'm sure you will get it. In Vedanta, the most important thing is understanding. If you don't understand, it's not like, faith. It doesn't work here. You have to understand. Yes, with faith we approach, but you can't end with faith. You can start with faith, but you have to end with understanding. If you start now with all these Swami's nonsense, now that is called as absence of faith, or that is called as foolishness. You already decided this is nonsense, humbug. Then it will not work. So you start with the initial faith, but if you only hold on to faith, it will not help you. You have to finally come to understanding. And understanding can come not because of mere faith. Understanding comes because of your logical reasoning. And that's why I'm saying, after the session, brainstorm. Okay? Alright, we'll start now. Every day I'll be chanting 3 shlokas. Morning also I chanted 3 shlokas. In case you do not know, ask the acharyas. They can either write it or teach you, and then every day we can all chant together. So I'm going to chant. I'm not going to wait for all of you to repeat. But next session or something, all of you should ensure that they at least have the verses in their hand. We chant Om together.
Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Vandayate Girim Yakripatamaham Vande Paramanandamadavam
Drig.
Seer.
Drishya. Drig Drishya. Drig Drishya Viveka. Seer, seeing, differentiate. Rule number 1 of the Drishya Viveka. Seer, see are different. Rule number 2. I am the seer, not the see. There will be temporary seers, right, which will also become seen, and then they lose the status of being the seer. So we have to come to the final seer, which is the true me. What is the true me? The final seer. Right? So, Kachif, I is a seer. But I also becomes a see, because the various conditions of the I is observed by the mind. So mind becomes a seer, I becomes a see. So it loses the status of the seer. So it is not the actual seer. So mind is a seer. With mind you are aware of the conditions of the I, right? Now mind also becomes a seeing, correct? Now you are aware of your mind. Usually we are not aware of the mind. Actually we are not aware of our body also usually, unless it creates some pain or something like that. Are you aware of your eye? No. Now are you aware of your eye? Yes. See? Are you aware of your mind? Usually no. Unless you get some problem in the mind. So some anger comes, or some jealousy comes, or some irritation comes. Then immediately what do? You want to put it, calm it down. Then only you are aware of the mind. Right? So mind also becomes a scene. And that which is aware of the mind does not become the scene. Well, we have to give it a name. That naming ceremony we will do later. Okay? But you all know there is something core you which is aware of the mind. And actually that is you. Why that is actually you? Because that is the ultimate seer. Logic only. This is how the thought goes. So through this Drishya Viveka, we discover ourself, the inner quest. Now you see the title? From the out to the in we go, and the quest is for the self. So this much is, really speaking, the summary of some 4 or 5 verses here. If you have followed this, then the verses that we are going to read is only a question of translation from Sanskrit to English. That's all. Shall we now read the verses? And I am sure 80% of these words you all will understand. It is not difficult. Some 10 to 20% I have to tell the meaning of the words, but otherwise we are all experts of these. Shall we read? So Maitreyi will read and you, all of us will repeat, and then I will explain the meaning.
Page 1, verse 1. Rupam drishyam lochanam Drig.
Rupam drishyam lochanam Drig.
Tadrishyam drittu manasam.
Tadrishyam drittu manasam.
Drishyadhi vrittaya sakshi.
Drishyadhi साक्षी
दृगेव न तु दृश्यते.
दृगेव न तु दृश्यते.
Together.
रूपं दृश्यं लोचनं दृक् तदृश्यं दृक्तुमानसम् दृश्यादिवृत्तयः साक्षी दृगेव न तु दृश्यते.
First word, Rupam. Do you understand? Rupam means form. Form means, what's the form of this? Some kind of rectangle? Cuboid. Cuboid. Yeah, because it has got this. Cuboid. Rupam. This? Hmm? Oh. Something elliptical box, whatever it may be. I'm opening it. This? Rupam. It doesn't matter. Rupam. You can say any kind of thing, but finally it is what? Rupam. And in Sanskrit the word Rupam does not mean just form. It means color also. Okay? So Rupam, you want a pen? No. So Rupam, see the next word. You know this word. What is the next word? Drishya. So what does it mean? Rupam Drishya means the form is seen. And whenever you say something is seen, immediately what should come to your mind? Seen by whom? And that becomes the seer. So who is the seer of form? Next word. Lochanam. Lochanam is eye. And see the next word. Drig. Drig is seer. So what does this portion of the verse tell you? Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Drig. Now you translate. The form is seen. The eye is the seer. Clear? Next let us see. Tad Drishya. Tad means that. So this is a new word probably for some of you. Tad means that. So when I say that is what here? The eye. Tad Drishyam. Tad Drishyam means the eye is the seer or seen? Drishyam is there. Seen. What is the word for seer in Sanskrit? Drig. And seen is Drishyam. Now what is said here? Tad Drishyam. Therefore tad here is eye. Eye. What is the Sanskrit word for eye used here? Lochanam. Therefore tad Drishyam means what? Lochanam Drishyam. Lochanam Drishyam. Eye becomes the seen. Earlier eye was the seer. Now from seer status it has become seen status. Therefore eye is not me. Initially it looks I is me. But as we proceed in our investigation, we find I also becomes a seen. Therefore it is not me. Okay? Now this is important. Huh? Intellectually you are studying. Now try to experientially. So it means what? So many things. I is not me. Swami, I never thought I is me. Then don't say I am blind. Never say that. Never say I got power. I got power means I mean. We say that, isn't it? This is what actually it means. Now when I say I am not the body, immediately what happens? So many things happen, no? I am neither tall or short. I am neither stout or thin. I am neither man or woman. Do you see the implication of it? So this is what I mean as standing under your understanding. Right? So whatever we are studying, you see what it actually means to you. So Drishya means what? I is the seen. And when you say I is the seen, immediately what should be the next question? Who is the seer? And what is the answer? Drig. Drig, the seer. Tu, indeed. Tu means indeed. So just only two words you had to know. Tad and tu. Drig, tu. And who is the seer of the I? Mind. Manasam. Manasam, mind. Right? So, Drig is the Manasam. Now status to the mind has come. Right? So I was a seer. Then I became the seen. Then now mind is the seer. That means what? Mind is you. Now move forward. But is the mind not known or not? Mind is also known. And mind is constituted of thoughts. Vrittayaha. Vrittaya means thoughts. Now, Divrittayaha. Divrittaya, Di Buddhi. So when you say mind, intellect, you refer to this kind of inner faculty. Na? And that is a thought. Lots of thoughts is a mind. Is it not? Good thoughts make good mind. Terrible thoughts make terrible mind. Sad thoughts means sad mind. Right? And happy thoughts means happy mind. So different kinds of thoughts are there. And these thoughts are what? Earlier it was Drig. Now this thought is what? Drishya. So Drishyaha Divrittayaha. Okay. So Drishya, when you say the mind is the seen, now the question will come what? Who is the seer? And we are giving a name for that seer. And that name given is Sakshi. Sakshi. Why we are calling Sakshi and all we see later. But at this point of time, we are giving a name for the seer of the mind, and that seer of the mind is called as Sakshi. And therefore written as Sakshi Drig. Okay, Sakshi Drig. So mind is Drishya, and now Sakshi becomes Drig. Sakshi. And this Sakshi is somebody seeing. Sakshi, you, the real seer, is seeing. But this real seer is somebody seeing? No. And that is why you turn Sakshi Drig Eva. So the rule that the seer, whenever we say the seen when we say seen requires a seer. But when we reach the ultimate seer, what happens? It cannot be seen. And this do not think in your mind, ultimate seer. Now you see within yourself. You are knowing the mind, is it not? Is somebody knowing the knower of the mind? Is somebody knowing? Mind we are knowing. But the knower of the mind, are we knowing like an object in front? No. And that is why when we ask the question, who are you? Who are you? Since you do not see it, sometimes you say, I do not know. Because you are not seeing it. You are seeing it. Right? Mind, you are seeing it. So suppose I ask, how are your eyes? Say they're fine, no problem. You went to the doctor, did you check up? Yeah, check some pressure, eye pressure is there, but otherwise it's fine. What's the pressure? Nothing much, right eye 10, which is perfectly okay. Left eye is some 16, but it's okay, doctor said up to 20 it's okay. Right? So we are able to measure, we are able to see. Even if we are not able to see the eye pressure ourselves, we can go and measure. Because it becomes an object for observation. Mind also, other person cannot observe, he may infer. He is looking very serious today, all is well, you ask him. He says all is fine. But it's not fine, something is wrong with you. No, all is fine. But you're serious. Every person, sometimes he is quiet. Quiet doesn't mean I'm serious or something. I am perfectly okay. He can't see you, but he can infer to some extent. But you can see your mind. The eye can be observed, but the mind cannot be easily observed. You can observe, right? But the observer of the mind, which is you, the real seer, neither can he see nor you also see. But just because you cannot see doesn't mean it is not there. Because you are that. You are only watching the mind. You getting? Yeah. And that is why it is said, Sakshi. Sakshi is what? The name for this knower, inner seer, the ultimate seer. That Sakshi is what? Drig eva. Drig eva means seer. Anybody can tell me what is the meaning of eva? Only or alone. When I say it is only, that means it means what? Like the others, it doesn't change the status. In the case of I, it was seen first, and then it became seer. Then the mind was a seer, is it not? Then the mind, which was a seer, became the I became seen. First it was seer, then it became seen. Mind was the seer of the I, then mind became the seen. But when we come to the inner final knower, the seer, does it also become the seen? No, it is ever the seer. That is why it is said, Drig eva. And to clarify what we mean by saying it is seer alone, it is said, Na tu drishyate. Na, you know. No means no. Drishyate does not become the seeing. And there's a word tu. Tu you know now. Tu, indeed. Indeed it never becomes the seeing. Okay? So now I will say each part of the sentence, you should tell the meaning. Rupam Drishyam, meaning form is seen. Lochanam Drig, eye is the seer. Tadrishyam, that eye is the seen. Driktu Manasam, mind indeed is the seer. Drishyadi Vrittayaha. You don't have to exactly, the thoughts of the mind are seen. Sakshi Drigeva, the ultimate knower, the witness. The word Sakshi means witness. Why it is witness? Later on. Sakshi Drigeva, the ultimate knower, can only be the knower, seer. Natu Drishyate, never the see. Clear? Actually speaking, text is over. You will see why I am saying text is over. Because the next verse is going to explain a portion of this verse. Like that there are 4 verses which will come. Then afterwards, still more thought will progress. So the explanation of this verse are the next few verses. Now first, Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Drig. That is going to be explained. What is the meaning of Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Drig? The form is the seen, the eye is the seer. That is going to explain. Okay, let us read.
Nilapita sthula sukshma
Nilapita stula sukshma Hrasva dirghadi bhedatah
Nana vidhani rupani Pashye lochaname katha
Pashye lochaname kada
Nilapita sthula sukshma Hrasva dirghadi bhedatah Nana vidhani rupani Pashye lochaname katha.
In this you see what all words you do not know. Without seeing the English meaning you must see, okay? That point. Alright. Now whatever words you do not know we'll see. Neela, blue. Neela, blue, black. Okay, Neela. Both meanings are there for Neela, blue and black. Pita, yellow. Stula, stula is little stout or large. Okay. X-axis, Y-axis. So this is X-axis. Okay, stula. Sukshma, small. Hrasva, Y-axis. Short. Dirgha, long. Tall. Bhedataha, many differences. And these are all what? Nana. Nana does not mean. In Nana is there in your language? Nana means what? Grandfather. In some languages, Nana means father also. In some languages, Nana. Alright, here Nana means manifold, various. Nana Vidhani, various types are these forms. Nana Vidhani Rupani. Rupani means form. The forms are of various types, like this one. So when you say form, do not always think the spherical and all those. That is why he is saying Neela, Pita, colors he is giving. Do you get it? Stula Sukshma. Form can also be on the x-axis. Form can also be on the y-axis. See that? See there how very simple form. But form can be what all? Something can be on the x-axis, something can be the y-axis, something can be the color. This way, n number of forms are there. Nana Vidhani Rupani. And then comes, and who sees that? Pashyet. Pashyet means seen, is being seen. Pashyet. By whom? Lochanam. Lochanam? Eye. And next comes an important point there. And how does the eye see it? Ekadha. Not ekadha, ekadha. The dha is there. Ekadha means once. Ekadha means without changing. Very important point. Without changing means what? Because you see something which is black, your eye doesn't become black. Your eye remains without any change and sees it as black. Because something is yellow, it doesn't mean your eyes become yellow. It remains without any change and sees it as yellow. It is good because your eye see a buffalo, your eye become buffalo means what a problem. Really speaking, If your eye also becomes a buffalo, you can't see a buffalo. To see change, you need to be changeless to a great extent. And that is why when a train is there and is going, and your train also goes, you can't really comprehend which moves. Why? Because you are part of a change. And being part of a change, you can't observe change. Important point. Being part of a change, you can't observe change. And that is why when we are caught up in a problem also, a difficulty also, or some situation, we say, what do we say? Say, let's come out and see it objectively. Don't we say that? Sometimes we require to go away from the place also. Why? Being part of a change, it's difficult to observe change. And that is why it is said here, it remaining the same without changing. It watches change. This word ekada is very important. Ekada means what? Without changing, it observes change. Without changing, that is the meaning of ekada. Do you get this point? So let us make the third rule of Drishya Viveka. The seer is changeless with respect to the change which it sees. The seer is changeless with respect to the change it sees. Third rule. The seer is changeless with respect to the change it sees. All logical. And I sincerely request all of you to think. My thinking is not going to solve your problem. Think. Rule number one. What is rule number one? The seer and the seen are different. Rule number two. I am the seer, not the seen. Rule number three. The seer is changeless with respect to the changes it sees. The seer is changeless with respect to the changes it sees. Okay. So now we have completed the portion. The form is the seen, the eye is the seer. What is the next portion to be seen? The eye is the seen, the mind is the seer. Let us see that portion. Next verse.
Patutveshu netradharmeshu chaikada sankalpaye manashyotra tvagado yojyatamidam.
What is it we are going to see here? The I is the seen, the mind is the seer. Meaning, I loses the status of being the seer. Okay? And what gets the status of the seen? What gets the status of seer? Mind. So when you say I is the seen, what do you mean? That he explains. Now, whatever words you do not understand, Andhya, Andha, you know, Andha is blind. Andhya is blindness. It's abstract form. Manda, you know, Manda, dull, na? Manda buddhi, dull. So mandya is what? Dullness. Patu, do you know patu? Is it there in your language? Patu. Expert. Perfect. Patutva is perfection. With respect to what? Netra dharmeshu. Netra dharmeshu. Netra is, earlier for eye, what was the word he used? Lochan. Now he has used the word netra. Dharma, property, not duty. Dharma is property. The dharma of sugar is sweetness. Dharma has got many meanings. Dharma means righteousness also. Na? But here dharma means property. So, what are the properties he is quoting as example? Blindness, dullness, the sharpness. That is a better word. Perfection, more than perfection, sharpness. Now, when do we say that the eye is dull or sharp or what's the other word? Blind. When do we say? Can you think of that? Can you define that? Someday we have to go to the doctor someday. Right? But even the doctor, how does he understand the eye is? Think. How does he measure? He uses tools fine, but based on what he tells you, your eye is dull or blind. Huh? By his eyes. That's everybody understands. By his eyes, by instruments. Yeah, that's fine. Huh? Okay. Now I will tell you how it's analyzed here. Every object has got a general property and a special property. For property, what is the word I used? Dharma. For general, can you give a word? Samanya. So every object has got a samanya dharma, and then for particular vishesha. So anything you can take. Now this is a watch, is it not? So what is the general property of it? It is of this structure, etc. And what is a vishesha? That it is yellow in color. Example I will give. You can give other visheshas also. So general property is of this structure and special property is color and so on. I can say my eye is sharp when I know the general property and particular property. Both I should know. Isn't it? When I know the Samanya Dharma and the Vishesha Dharma perfectly, then I say my eye is sharp. Patu. When can I say that my eye is Manda? Manda is dull. When can I say that? Now you guess. Yes. Samanya is seen but Vishesha is not seen. For example, suppose I remove my specs. I know something is written here. Samanya. But I cannot read the letters. And therefore what can I say my eye is? Manda. And when can I say my eye is andha, blind? When both are not seen. Clear? So andhya, mandhya, patutveshu, in all these are what? Netra dharmeshu, the properties of the eyes. Who determines that? When I say I determine that, I say I determine that. Na? I know I am blind. When I removed my specs, and I'm not able to see the letters, then I say, oh, my eyes are not that sharp. Who says that? I say that. But who is that I here? Manaha. Manaha sankalpayet. Sankalpayet means determines. The mind determines. Okay? There is one word from the earlier verse which is repeated here also. See the earlier verse and this verse, and then you tell me what is that word which is repeated. Ekada. Ekada means what? Remaining changeless. Third law of the Drishya. What is that? The seer remains changeless with respect to the changes it sees. Is it not? So the mind, without becoming blind, without becoming dull, without becoming sharp, remaining in its own way, own nature, sees these changes. But why are you so much liking the I only in your discussion? Always I form, and then form is seen by the I, and then I is seen by the mind. Why you are insistent upon the I only? What, anything? No. Shrotra Twagadho. Shrotra is ear. Twak is skin. With respect to the ear, with respect to the ear sees what? Ear sees what is the wrong thing. Ear hears, or ear is conscious of. Ear is aware of. Aware of what? Sound. Twak is aware of touch. Hot, cold, mild, rough, soft, velvety, hug, kiss, everything. And when you say ear, what all it? Loud, soft, melodious, cacophony, rock, blues, blues, Carnatic music, Western classical. This is not Mozart, it's Beethoven. All these things are here. Shrotra, Tvak, Adau. Adau and so on. And so on means what? Eyes are over. Now Shrotra, ear is here. Tvak is skin. What else remains? Nose and tongue. In all these, Yojyatam idam, this analysis you do. I am not going to do for you. So after class work, you do homework. Yojyatam idam means what? First you start. Sound is the observed. Let me use the word seen. Sound is the seen. Ear is the seer. Ear is the seen. Mind is the seer. That much. You do this. So what becomes the final knower here according up to here? The final knower is the mind. And what is the law he is adopting again and again? He is saying the seer remaining is changeless with respect to the changes that it sees. Third law. So now, what is over now? First we saw I is the form is the seen, I is the seer. That he explained in one verse. Then he went on to say, I is the seen, mind is the seer. Now what he has to explain? Mind is the seen, Sakshi is the seer. And who is Sakshi? You, the ultimate knower. I myself, no? The final, the inner me, which is a true me, which never becomes the seen. If it becomes a seen, what will happen? It cannot be the seer. Without becoming the seen, I am able to witness, see, observe, become conscious of the mind. Unlike the mind sees, but mind becomes the seen. The status of the mind changes. The status of the I changes. I also was the seer, but I became seen. Mind also was the seer, but mind also became seen. But consciousness, the true self, the inner self, which is called Sakshi here, it ever remains the seer. Somebody said seen. If you make a mistake, I should do like this for me. Okay? Now let us see now how mind is the seen. Right. Next verse. Kama, desire. Desire. Well known. Sankalpa, determination. It came before also. Which word Sankalpa was there? Which word Sankalpa was there? See your book. Third verse. Earlier verse. Sankalpayen manaha was there. Determination. Sandeha, doubt. Opposite of Sankalpa. Shraddha, faith. Faith means what? You trust somebody. Your friend you trust, does it not? You trust. Hopefully he doesn't or she doesn't reveal your secrets. And if you have a doubt, she has revealed it, ashraddha. You no more have faith in that person. Dhriti. Dhriti is what? Dhriti is your determination. Different determination. It is not the determination of Sankalpa. It is a determination when things become difficult. When something is difficult, you continue, you persist. That persistence, the determination is called as Dhriti. Suppose some of your students, let us say you are writing your examination. 2.5 hours paper, 2.5 hour paper, or 2 hours paper, 2.5 hour paper, let us say. When it comes to 1 hour 45 minutes, hands start paining. But you continue writing. We have other things also. Watching 4 movies, 3 movies continuously. And when it becomes 2:30, 3 o'clock, eyes close. Keep awake. Finish it. Dhriti. Here also you require Dhriti. When something becomes little tough, and it will be required. I am telling you, required. I don't follow that. Why am I doing this specs if I don't follow it? I don't follow that. I should get it. What is it? You open the book, you read it, still you don't get it. Catch somebody, discuss with that person, still you don't get it. Catch Acharya, discuss with it. Some clarity is there. Good. Happy. Then you think further. Then you get it. How do you get it? Dhriti. You work for it. But hard work, when it is difficult, is called Dhriti. Itara. Itara is opposite of Dhriti. You don't have that. You give it up. Holding on, Dhriti, giving up. These are all thoughts of the mind only. Hri is lajja. When you have told a lie, somebody has caught you. Don't make an issue, okay? Hri. Dhi. Dhi is intelligence. Intelligence. You think when you're moving the chess pieces, you're moving. Now you want to checkmate the person. You're looking carefully. If I take the horse this side, and if I take the bishop this side, and here if I put the soldier, checkmate. But if that has to happen, he should not move this. How to trick him? Therefore, move this soldier this side so that his mind goes there, and then you focus. This is called what? Dhi. So much is happening inside. Next is B. And when you move the soldier this side, instead of he looking there, he is looking here and doing something here. B. Oh, did he find out what I did? B. Iti eva madhi. Can I keep telling you the number of thoughts which is there in the human mind? So many. Basayati. Basayati illumines, sees. Who sees? Chitihi. Chitihi. What was told as Sakshi, na? The inner awareness. Chitihi, consciousness, awareness. And what is the word which is used again here? Ekada. Ekada means what? Without any change. Meaning, when this consciousness, Sakshi, is seeing Kama, it does not become engulfed by desire. Important. When I is seeing a buffalo, I does not become buffalo. Right? When the mind is seeing the eye is dull, mind doesn't become dull. When the thoughts of the mind, such as these, desire, etc., are seen by the consciousness, consciousness does not become that thought. Say that again soundly. When the eye is seeing a form, it doesn't transform into that form. When the mind is seeing the eye dull or sharp or blind, the mind doesn't become dull, sharp or blind. When the mind which has got desire, anger, greed, jealousy is being seen by me, by the true me, which is called Sakshi, it doesn't become desire ridden, or because of lust become lusty, or because of greed become greedy, or because of jealousy become jealous. Because all of them belong to where? Mind. You are free of it. Yes or no? When the eye is dull, the mind doesn't become dull. When the mind is stupid, you don't become stupid. You are not intelligent also. You are not stupid also. You are not wise also. You are not dull also. Why? These are all properties of the mind. You remain ever seeing them free of the mental thoughts. Why? Ekada. Ekada means what? The seer sees. What is the third law? The seer sees the changes without. The seer does not change with respect to the. Shall we make it simpler? The seer remains changeless. And because all these changes are in the mind and the seer is witnessing these changes. What is the word I used? Witnessing. I used the word witnessing. Meaning this consciousness which is me is just seeing these without undergoing any change. Therefore it is called as witness. Who is witness? Witness sees without participating in the event. Yes or no? In the court, who is called a witness? The judge is calling the witness, okay. But who is called the witness? The one who has seen without being a part of the whole thing. He is called a witness. And since consciousness is seeing all these things without changing, without being part of any change, consciousness, chitihi is consciousness. Therefore it was called as sakshi. Now you understand why it is called sakshi. Why it is called sakshi? What is that one word you must say? Ekada. Because it is ekada. Ekada means what? Without changing according to what changes are happening, it bhasayati, it illumines. How many of you consider yourself an angry person? You are not angry. Because you are not mine. Na? Please, carefully. Spiritual knowledge is not mere intellectual knowledge. Yes, you must logically reason, but finally you must see how much you stand under. Stand under what? Understanding. That's what Gurudev used to say. First understand, then stand under. Under that knowledge. How many of you consider yourself as dull? How many of you consider yourself bright? How many of you consider wise? How many of you consider yourself man? Woman? So, I am a man, no woman. What is this, Ramji? We have studied Nana. Right? Who are you? The ultimate seer, which is consciousness. Because it cannot be inert, you see. And you know you are conscious. It's not that I have to prove to you you are conscious. You are conscious. You are conscious, yeah, I am conscious. And what is the nature of that consciousness? Ekada. And because it is Ekada, we call it as Sakshi. That's all. So this much. Now see the first verse, what all we have completed. First verse you go. Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Drik. The form is seen, the eye is a seer. Explain. Which verse explained that? Verse number 2. Tadrishyam Draktu Manasam. The eye is the seen, the seer is the mind. Verse number 3 explained. Drishya Divrittayaha. The mind is seen. Mind is seen, yes. Sakshi Drigeva. Okay, Sakshi Drig. Up to this. The mind is the seen. The witness is a seer alone. That was explained in verse number 4. Now what remains? Natu Drishyate. It never becomes the seen. Why? Because it is the ultimate seer. And a little bit why it is called a Sakshi. Why it is Ekadha. That is explained in verse number 5. That we'll take up tomorrow. They say this text is very, very advanced, difficult. Is it? No, not so far. Let's see how it goes. So now, what is the program now? Oh, let's finish Purnamada first. Anybody has got any questions? But I'm not going to answer. You know why? That question first you must discuss with your friends. Then afterwards, go to the Acharya. And then if it is not solved, you come to me. But I would definitely want to know what is your question. Therefore, let me hear that.
We learned that whatever is gross, that needs some faculty to be seen. So there needs to be some faculty, that is the seer is the faculty. So similarly, the most subtle point, that is the seer, the ultimate seer, how can we see it without any faculty?
That is in the next verse it will come. But it's a good question. But you don't discuss this now. Because the next question is answering exactly this question. Because that is how the thought flows. So you asked a correct question. What is the correct question? The correct question is what is to be answered in the next verse. Because the thought flows there. So if you strike at the right question, that means you are flowing with the thought. Good. So this you don't discuss now. Because I am not given the answer, therefore you cannot. So what is the Purnamada first thing? पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम. Those who are wearing the saffron temporary sannyas are people who are on the campus. Then what you should do, no, you must sit in a way I can see you all properly. Yeah. So probably you can be seated here or here, but be closer. And even others, if you want to come a little closer, please feel free. And then you can pull the chair back. Then I can see you. What is the program now?
Dinner. After dinner, 9 o'clock.
After dinner?
9 o'clock here for culture.
9 o'clock for culture. Instrument. ठीक है. All right.
After the dinner, at the 9 o'clock, under that, we have the instrumental. Instrumental program is there. Nitish Purohit and Meena Titan. These two people are going to perform solo and Santu.
Wow. Wow. Enjoy. How many of you are here who can do various music, dance and all those things? All right. There, 2, 3. Okay. You're all. And when you're hearing to the music, who is hearing? Ear. So ear is the seer. And who is the seer of the ear? Mind. Who is the seer of the mind? Sakshi. Why is he called Sakshi? Ekada. That you should keep in mind. This is called as living Vedanta. And if you forget this, that is called leaving Vedanta. That's the only difference. So all life we live